Welcome to Module 6, Unit 4. We are going to draw the assembly draft. Here we have our drawing sheet ready, and the commands are similar to the part drawing. We choose Assembly and we open the view. We can customize the view we want to insert in our draft. And here you have the assembly drawing. You can change the scale as we did with the part drawing. I fix it 1:1 for example, and I can also hide the hidden edges I don't need, because I'm going to do cutting planes to avoid having hidden edges. Command cutting plane as we did with a part, and I'm going to cut here to see the screw. The draft must have all the information to see how the assembly has been constructed, which parts it has, and how they fit together. So I have here the section I need. Of course, I have to delete this word, corte in Spanish. Yes, this is similar as we have previously seen for a part. But now, see for example, this screw shouldn't be cut. Screws, pins, nuts. So right button of the mouse, display. Now you choose a screw and state not to section. This is different, of course, from a part, because in an assembly draft, these elements mustn't be cut. So here I have my screw, which is not cut. Remember, screws, pins, bolts, nuts. You can also change the way the elements are hatched, but remember, parts must be hatched with the similar hatch parameters in all the views. Now, for example, I can use a parallel cutting plane to see both pins, to see how they fit in the handle and in the guide. The assembly draft is not an information to manufacture. It hasn't got dimensions, but you must clearly state how the parts fit together. So here it is convenient, I think, it is clear to do a parallel cutting plane. I will delete this because I have clicked too early, and now the cutting plane just will give me the information I need. I close. I can state the point of view as we have seen with the part drawing, and section to have the information I need. This information has the data of the different parts which are in my assembly. Now I can load the part list. So I click on the assembly and just drag. And this is the part list Solid Edge loads. I will have to change some things. Well, I can change these names for the columns, which I don't like. I don't like item number and I don't like file name. Click right, properties, and for example, sorting, because it should start reference 1 on the bottom and 9 on top. So this is how it must be. Again, I click right button, and for example, I'm going to state not to mark the reference. I don't want the column to be file name. I just want to be part name. I think it is much clearer and correct. I change here, for example, reference, and instead of file name, as I told you before, I state part name. It is the name of the part, not the name of the file. And I can include, for example, a column with the material. You will have to modify these elements as you need. I can change these names I have here in Spanish because they are loaded from the .par file, but I can change them as I like. I click here, I state allow cell override, and instead of this name, I state screw. I can do the same thing, for example, the author. Maybe you have constructed your assembly in a computer which is not yours, and you want to state your name. So I state here my name. Instead of going to the file, to the .par and change all the data. It is very handy to do it here straight away. In this case, I don't want to state the name in Spanish. I want to state it in English. It's wood. Maybe you don't have to change it if the .par files are correctly done. It depends. But these names, for example, reference, they should start 1 on the bottom and increase down top, excuse me. And now I can state the reference numbers. So I click here and I have, this is my part number 1. Solid Edge can state these reference numbers straight away, but if you see, maybe you don't like how Solid Edge states them. So I prefer usually to do it myself, because I state then the reference numbers where I see better the part I'm giving the reference number. Here, for example, this could be, well, part number 2. So here I must have my table, my cutting planes, my reference numbers, always according to what standard states. And finally, you can also include the perspective of your assembly. As usual, you load the view, and you can do as we did with a part, that is, click right button, properties, and shade and color. It will show you the assembly as you have it on your .asm file. This is the end of Module 6, Unit 4. In Module 7, we will show you how to construct the clamp we have seen.